Crikey, it is time. We are live. It is 6 p.m, 1800 hours here in the United Kingdom on the 18th of April 2022. I am Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, your host for this session. Welcome to the show, everyone. If you are in the United Kingdom, we are on a bank holiday. It is Bank Holiday Monday, Easter Monday. So I don't know whether that's the same around the world, but there's a holiday here. So for those of you from the UK that are joining us, thank you. Totally appreciated. I know you're probably enjoying the lovely sunshine that we've been enjoying, but appreciated nonetheless. So great to have you all in the house. If you're new to all of this, if you are finding my channel for the first time, very important, wallop, read the disclaimer. Don't come here looking for financial advice. You ain't going to find it. Only invest what you're willing to lose. Really important. These are important things. And I'm not saying you're going to lose anything, but in any type of investment, you need to understand that an investment can go down as well as it can go up, of course. So that is why the disclaimer is there. If you're also new, well worth checking out my website, ukbitcoinmaster.com, where you'll find every video to date. I think this is number 417. And bitcoininterviews.com is where you'll find all the interviews that I do, including the one from last Thursday with the amazing Natalie Brunell from Bitcoin Magazine. If you have not watched that conversation I had with Natalie last Thursday, I would encourage you to go do so, because it was a brilliant conversation. I loved hearing about her background and everything that she and her family went through before they got themselves to safety from Poland to the United States. It was a really great interview. And in fact, that interview is in the show notes already. So, you know, if you want to go away and watch that and ignore this, that's fine. Go and watch it. But if not, watch this and then afterwards go and watch that interview with Natalie. I'm just looking at my chat and I'm using that on my phone. So I just want to shout out to a few people. Proud Zionist Jew, thank you. Good to see you in the house. Yorkie Bitcoiner as well. My lovely wife, Elaine, Mrs. UK. We got Matthew Underhill in the house from the Bitcoin book. Welcome, Matthew. Lance Hoddle, good to see you, Lance, as always. Will Hobdy has joined us. Will, great to see you in the house as well. UK Bitcoin Farmer. Yeah, you are late. I can say that he's my nephew. Seriously, great to have you in the house as well. Okay, so I can't keep looking at the chat for more people that are joining us. So I think it's onwards and upwards. Do you like the t-shirt? I love this t-shirt. I am bossing it. I am Bitcoin bossing it. Get in there, Bitcoiners. Name of the game. Okay, so on with the show. I don't want to take any more of your time if you're in the UK or wherever you are celebrating Easter than I need to. So rather than hear me rabbiting, let's get on with the show. Okay, so the first thing I would like to do is have a quick look at the price. And for those of you that are freaking out right now, you're obviously thinking in fiat land, as Simon Dixon says. If you're a Bitcoin thinker, all you're looking at is the top right, where instead of getting 1900 sats for every dollar you were getting a few weeks back, you're now getting nearly 2,600 sats for your dollar. I just saw a tweet recently. It's not going to be shown here, but literally 5 minutes before the start of the show. And it said something like, treasure the sats at 39k Bitcoin because it won't be there long. Now, long may be months, it may be years, but long is not going to be a decade or 2 decades or 50 years. At some point, we're going to have another breakout, whenever that's going to come from, and you're going to be looking at sats at like 1900 sats for your dollar, 1800, 1700. And for those of you trying to dollar cost average and build your stack, you want to be building your stack when it says 2,531 Satoshis for your dollar, because you're getting more Bitcoin for your money. We're looking at exahashes, 202,000 exahashes per second on the hash rate. So that's really, really healthy. We're currently getting 6.25 Bitcoins per block every 10 minutes. Of course, in 2024, that is going to be cut in half to 3 I think that is 125 or 175. I can never work that one out, but it is going to drop, and that's going to create more demand, obviously, and supply isn't going up, and we all know what that can lead to. Okay, so that said, let's dive into the show now. Again, I've got a video that I want to run, and then we'll talk about a few tweets afterwards. But before I do that, there is one thing quickly I want to plug, if I may. Whoops, and that is the wrong one, and that is that one. Okay, this is for people in the UK. If you're not aware of it, on the 2nd of July, we have got a Bitcoin Day. In fact, it's a Bitcoin weekend. It starts Friday. People are arriving Friday, staying Saturday, and then chilling out and getting to know each other during Sunday before everybody heads off. But Saturday is the main Bitcoin Day, and I'm really excited about this because, number one, the organizer has very kindly asked me to MC the day. So I'm really looking forward to that. But if you have a look at what's going on, there's family fun there for all of the family. Just under £19 a ticket. Of course, it says here, if you buy with Bitcoin, you get it 50% off. And you can see there's a speaker's tent with Bitcoin workshops with an expert in each field covering why Bitcoin matters, how Bitcoin works, how to keep your Bitcoin safe, how to set up a node, Lightning Network, Bitcoin mining and energy usage, El Salvador adoption, investment opportunities, NFT development on Bitcoin. Then we've got some key speakers that are going to be announced. Obviously a trade floor where exhibitors from the Bitcoin space are invited to set up exhibition stands, all sorts of games where you can earn Bitcoin. So if you're in the UK and you could get to Bristol, down in the southwest corner of the UK, come and join us. I'm really excited about this, and every show now I will be plugging this leading up to the show in July. I know there are tent pitches that you can hire. There are glamping tents, which are like glamour tents on site. It's all there. So if you're in the UK, if you're not in the UK, or if you're from America and you're in the UK and you on those dates, come and join us. It'll be fantastic. Really looking forward to it. Okay, so now what I want to do is get into the meat and bones of the show. And I keep banging on my shows all the time that you don't want to mess around with crap coins. I don't use the other word that they all use, but I call them crap coins, okay? Because ultimately, crap coins, I believe they're just distracting the world from adopting Bitcoin going forward, Bitcoin adoption taking place and making the world a better place. Now, I'm not stupid enough to think that everybody is going to pile into Bitcoin. You are going to have people innovating and creating other coins. And, some of them will be, I'm sure, really good projects. But the problem you've got is, Bitcoin has got that first mover advantage, a bit like Google has, a bit like Facebook has, a bit like the internet has, or TCP, I believe it is, the internet protocol that everything is built on top of. There isn't another one, if that makes sense. So for me, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I believe that the one shot humanity has got of creating a world with hard, sound, unmanipulatable, uncensorable, unconfiscatable money is Bitcoin. But people are going to go and get their fingers burnt, and many get their fingers burnt before they find Bitcoin, and then they look back and think, oh, crikey, why did I crap coin? But it is what it is. Now, somebody you've just seen, actually, who's a very prominent figure right now is this guy, Dave Portnoy. Now, Dave Portnoy is the founder of Barstool Sports, and you can see here, whoops, wrong screen, hang on a sec, let me get back there now. Okay, you can see with nearly 3 million followers on Twitter, he's a very, very prominent figure. And I've referred to him in previous shows. I remember it was either last year or the year before where he announced he'd bought some Bitcoin, and then weeks or months later he rage quit and sold all of his Bitcoin because the price went down, and was shouting his mouth off that he'd lost money and he was never getting into cryptocurrency again. I featured that on one of my shows. So, he's definitely not a Bitcoin maxi as far as I'm concerned. But, you know, when he speaks, people tend to listen. I think that's the real point. And in this video clip that I'm going to run, he went and got into a crap coin. I don't even know much about this coin. Many of you may know way more than I do. But a lot of these coins, you know, they say that celebrities and big players are given some coins to pump the coins up, and then the coin goes through the roof, and all the regular plebs like us buy into all this hype, and then the people that founded the coin, maybe some of the celebrities, you know, they all get out, they dump, i.e. a pump and dump, and then all the people like us, we lose our money. Now, in this video, and I'm probably going to let it run in its entirety, actually, he's having a rant about this coin that he invested in called SafeMoon. Now, the first thing I would say before we run the clip is keep in mind here, you know, when he starts talking about I spent this money for it and now it's down to this, well, that can happen in Bitcoin as well. In my opinion, that's just short-term thinking. But it's not the point. He breaks it up a little bit, and you hear how he says they connected with him and then asked him to do something, and he lost even more money. And then he goes along to the Bitcoin conference, and he's one of the keynote speakers. And in fact, he's got probably one of the biggest followings of all the speakers at that Bitcoin conference. So he's obviously learning more and more about Bitcoin, its properties, what makes it unique, etc. But I guess what my point is to bring it to your attention, to let you hear what this very prominent individual is saying about this particular coin that he bought, and then ultimately what happened. So I'll let it run in its entirety unless I feel the need to pause it and say something. But let's have a listen to this guy. I don't gel too much with him, but we'll have a listen just the same. Here we go.
Okay, emergency press conference time. And I don't even know if it's an emergency. I'm talking SafeMoon. So people who know, I don't know, what, 6 months, 8 months, I don't remember. I did a press conference. I'm like, I want to buy a coin. I want to buy an alternative coin. I'm sick of seeing all these coins go up, blah, blah, blah. I want to get in the mix. I'm going to pick one basically out of a hat and see how it does. And I prefaced it by saying I know nothing about the coins. It could be crap. It could be a scam. It could make $1 quadrillion. I don't know. SafeMoon is now in the Dave Portnoy business and vice versa. Why? I don't know why. It could be a Ponzi scheme. But I wanted to buy one. I chose SafeMoon. I put 40 grand into SafeMoon. SafeMoon, I tweeted about it. I said, I'm on SafeMoon. People are like, oh, they paid you. They did it. No. No. I just a schmo like everybody else. Put 40 grand in, learned how to buy it. I've documented my trials and tribulations with SafeMoon. It basically went to nothing. So I put in 40 grand. It was all the way down to 4 grand. And I had diamond hands. I'm holding it forever. So I go to this Bitcoin conference this past weekend in Miami. I'm a speaker on this panel. And some SafeMoon people show up. And they're trying to talk to me. I'm like, I don't want to SafeMoon. You took my 40 grand. It's worth 4. Not to mention there's a lawsuit now that's implying like Jake Paul and Tyga and all these celebrities were paid to promote SafeMoon. They were either given SafeMoon for free and then they bump it up, and when it rises, then they slowly pull their money out, a little slow rug pull, whatever. And people are always with me. They're like, Dave, you were given free SafeMoon. They told you. No. Listen. You will know when I am involved in something, when I'm not. I'm as clear as day. Nobody gave me dick from SafeMoon. I never taught to SafeMoon. I bought 40 grand on my own. I picked them on my own, and I lost the money on my own. All right, this is getting long. Lately, the SafeMoon people, hey, you got to change wallets. We upgraded to this new thing. We've migrated. But, by the way, SafeMoon says they have something new coming out. I feel like every day. Listen, I put my 40 grand in one way. It's sitting there. It goes up. Great. It goes to nothing. Whatever. I lost. So it's at 4 grand. I'm at the Bitcoin conference. I see SafeMoon people like, hey, convert the wallet. Convert. You're missing out. It's like, shut up. I put in 40 grand. It's down to 4. SafeMoon actually has the balls, I didn't even know they're SafeMoon people, to send an email. They say, this is to our marketing team. Hey, Kelly, our team spoke to Dave yesterday at Bitcoin 2022. Want to follow up here. He mentioned the SafeMoon losses on air, but failed to mention he hasn't upgraded his holdings to V2 yet. His comments give our company a bad look and unfair representation, especially coming from one of the most public figures to speak at the convention this week. We appreciate the publicity, but ask he updates his coins. We offer our support and quick and easy process if you need it. Thank you, Jonas Harmer, Sales and Growth Manager, SafeMoon. Jonas at SafeMoon.ltd. I didn't even know SafeMoon had people like this. You got unfair representation? I told you exactly what happened. I've never talked to anybody from SafeMoon in my life till this that they're crying. I said exactly what happened. I put in 40, it's down to 4. All right, fine. So everyone's tagging me, hey, upgrade. Guess what? I follow SafeMoon.net, this upgrade button. My $4,000 turned into $100. I pressed the upgrade button like the SafeMoon people wanted me. Where'd it go? The $4,000 went to $100. Maybe I got to do something different. Hey, newsflash, SafeMoon and anybody else out there. It shouldn't be that complicated. I deposited the money, which is hard. Once you do it, you shouldn't have to do 19 different things to keep the money. So SafeMoon, shut the up. And for all those people who are like, oh, Dave's a scam artist and they paid him to do it, does it seem like they did? No, it doesn't. I converted. I got $100 now, SafeMoon. You happy? What, did I misrepresent that too?
I mean, that's a right old rant, isn't it? But, for me, listen, I'm just a regular guy. I want the simplicity of, just like when you put your money into a bank to, try and save for the future, which you can't do anymore. I want to just get on with life and know that maybe my savings are growing. All of that just gave me a headache. When I listened to it, I thought, I can't be asked with any of that sort of stuff. Upgrade your wallet. The $4,000 goes to $100 or something of that nature. I mean, can you imagine the outcry if you had to update something in Bitcoin? You had to update your full node, and all of a sudden your Bitcoin had gone from maybe $10,000 down to $1,000, or it had disappeared. There'd be a blasted outcry. So, I mean, I just wanted to bring that to you to just show you what sort of shenanigans, what sort of rubbish, what sort of crap goes on if you are dealing with these oh, hang on, my screen just moved. What's going on if you are messing around in these sorts of crap coins? And that is why I say, literally buy and hold your Bitcoin and keep dollar cost averaging. You got to understand how important 21 million coins is. We throw this around all the time. Oh, there's only 21 million. But people don't have any vision. They don't understand that with something like 40 million millionaires on planet Earth, when Bitcoin moons, there isn't even enough for Bitcoin for each millionaire to have half a Bitcoin each. So imagine if you work and you build up towards half a Bitcoin, you could be front running those millionaires that are just laughing at this, that are just ignoring it, that are seeing it as something they don't need to look at or be involved in. And of course, as we move forward and we see all this stuff going on with, senators pumping it and talks going on in Congress about it all now, and we had the Canadian truckers, and we've had money being sent to Ukraine, and bloody blah. It's all going on. Eventually we're going to hit what I call critical mass, where everyone's hearing about this Bitcoin thing and they think, I need to get some, and you're just going to get this FOMOing in. And you're going to see the price of Bitcoin tear people's faces off. If you're new to Bitcoin over the last 12 months, you haven't seen anything yet. You wait till you live through a proper pump where, maybe at 10 or 20 X's in the space of less than a year, which I saw in 2017. I bought my first Bitcoin at $2,000. in May of 2017, and by the December it's just under 20,000, and it was like, crikey, and if you don't understand it, and I didn't understand it back then, all you do is want everybody to pile in. Of course, what I now know is I was getting family members to buy Bitcoin at the top, which I would not now do, or I would advise them that if we have a pullback, they need to hold it. And I always say now anyway, as a disclaimer, look, if you're going to put anything into this thing, hold it for at least 5 years. Don't do anything for 5 years and you will always be quids in. So that's how I sort of preface talking to people about buying some Bitcoin. But I guess to wrap this bit, I just want you all to understand that in all these altcoins that are out there, they're all going to tell you they're the next this, they're the next that, they're the next Bitcoin. They got more this than Bitcoin, better that than Bitcoin. I'm telling you, in my own opinion, no financial advice, that Bitcoin is the simplest investment you'll ever make, because you just put a little bit by as often as you can. I know friends in the US, for example, are dollar cost averaging like so many cents every hour, using whatever platform they're using, whether it's Stripe, whether it's Swan Bitcoin, but if you're dollar cost averaging maybe each payday, weekly, monthly, fortnightly, or twice weekly, it's interesting. I'm going to be careful for the American audience. I say fortnightly, and some of them go, what the hell is fortnightly? Fortnightly is twice, no, not twice weekly, once every 2 weeks. That's a fortnight. Okay, just in case anybody's confused. So all you've got to do is take the mentality that all you're doing is you're building a savings plan for the future. And if you're younger than me, okay, it might be that you say this is a 10, 15, 20, 25 year savings plan that I'm just going to keep adding to every payday, and then I'm going to get on and I'm going to enjoy my life. And if you do that and you don't let your Bitcoin stash affect your day-to-day running of paying your bills, repairing your car, taking your family away on vacation, and all that type of thing, then, or you don't borrow and loans to buy Bitcoin and you leverage yourself, it means that you never have to sell your Bitcoin and you just hold it long term for the future. Because again, I don't want to, this is nothing's meant as advice here. This is just my own personal belief. And my own personal belief is that Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million a coin in my lifetime, providing him upstairs don't take me in the next few weeks or the next few years. I believe we'll see $1 million Bitcoin in my lifetime. But what about your lifetime? If you're 10 years, 20 years, 30 years younger than I am, imagine what you are going to see per Bitcoin in your lifetime. Just imagine if Bitcoin were $20 million a coin and you had half a Bitcoin. Just imagine if it was 20 million a coin and you had 0.1 of a Bitcoin. That is still worth saving for, in my opinion. Now, none of us have got that crystal ball. We can't guarantee that's going to happen in the future. But I always say, liken a savings plan in a bank, put it side by side with your Bitcoin savings plan. So your bank savings plan gives you no % return. Most of the banks these days, there's negative banking, so negative interest. So in fact, they charge you to keep your money in their bank. Okay, and then you look at Bitcoin, that since inception, around 170% annualized growth. And again, that's not prediction for the future. But what if it went up 20% a year? Is that better from a savings perspective than 0% a year? And that's all you've got to look at here. And then just keep saving it to protect your family's financial future. So that is the way that I look at it, if that makes sense. And that is why I say to people, I think you're absolutely nuts if you mess around with altcoins. Yes, if you trade in these coins and you know what you're doing, you can make money quite quickly, and then you can funnel that into Bitcoin. But of course, if you look at what traders do, they never switch off. They're up in the middle of the night. I've got a life to lead. I've got sleep to enjoy, you know. I don't want to be worrying about what's going on with the Bitcoin and the altcoin charts 24/7. I don't want that hassle. So when I saw this, I saw a way of just buying and holding and enjoying life. As it happens, I decided to run a podcast or a YouTube channel. So therefore, I tend to keep on top of what's going on because it helps me when I'm preparing stuff for the channel. So little bit of a rant over there. Forgive me, based on Mr. Portnoy and his rants. I wouldn't listen to too much he says. I think he'll rage quit again if something happened. But hey, who knows? I might be wrong. What do I know? He's worth millions and I'm not. Okay, so back over to the desktop. Very, very quickly, Matthew is in the house. Matthew Underhill wrote this book, The Bitcoin Book. Well worth checking out on Amazon, whether you like to listen or you like to read. It's up on my shelf over there. I've read it twice, listened to it once on Audible as well. And it's a great book for a beginner. So do check that out on Amazon. If you know a whale, wouldn't mind parting with 10.98 Bitcoin, they can get bitcointothemoon.com, the domain name, along with btctothemoon.com and these logos, etc. So if you know a whale, point them to that direction, you know, because I wouldn't part with 11 BTC, but a whale might well do that. And finally here, listen, I've changed this heading. I don't need donations to the site because I don't run the channel for financial gain. So I've changed this to, why not practice sending Satoshis from a phone wallet like Wallet of Satoshi, Moon Wallet, Blue Wallet, whatever it is. Why not practice sending some sats to one of those 3 Lightning addresses below? They're mine. And you can send 100 Satoshis and it will be less than 10 cents or 10 pennies. So if you get it wrong, you've lost a few pennies. In the great scheme of things, when a cup of coffee costs nearly £3 or whatever it is in dollars, you know, a few pennies to practice with the Lightning Network. I would encourage you all to try these out and get used to it, because when you're holding your precious Bitcoin, ultimately there'll come a day in the future where we will want to spend some of it, you know, for day-to-day living, like BTC Sessions. He lives purely on Bitcoin. I'm not there yet. For me, Bitcoin needs to be $500,000 before I'd even consider doing that, and even then I may not, if there's a good loan against it where I don't need to pay any taxes. Maybe the law will change then, where like in America, if you spend under a certain limit, I think they're trying to get it to $600, it is not a taxable event, so you can use it for coffees and, you know, meals out and plane tickets, etc. You know, what I'm saying is this is a great way to practice sending it, because the Lightning Network is layer 2 on top of the Bitcoin base layer. Okay, so Lightning is the payment rails that we keep hearing Jack Mallers talking about, where we will make payments. Okay, so what you want to do as a Bitcoiner is learn how to do that fluently, so that when other people around you finally wake up and they say to you, well, how do you send these sats? And you go, I ain't got a clue. You want to be able to send them. So start practicing using these addresses, people. You're not going to make me rich at 5 cents and 10 cents a go. Use these as a way to send to someone. That's all I would say. Okay, so I got some tweets that I came across, thought worth sharing. We're back to Mr. Portnoy again, but this was from Bitcoin Magazine. And he said, Jack Dorsey is as bullish on Bitcoin as anybody I've ever heard, said the founder of media giant Barstool Sports. So when you get tweets like this, Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, no less, okay, is as bullish on Bitcoin as anybody I've ever heard. He left Twitter, we believe, to work on Bitcoin projects, and by staying at Twitter there was a conflict of interest. We now know that Elon Musk is trying to buy it and blah blah blah, and I can't be asked with getting into all of it. They'll do what they'll do, but I love it when you've got big personalities like Dave Portnoy, like him or not, when he's tweeting about Jack Dorsey is as bullish as hell on Bitcoin. What else did I find? Dick Wickman tweeted this one. Cash App We're giving away 2 whole Bitcoin to futuristic people. Follow Cash App and tag 2 friends for a chance to win. Now, here's a thought for you. Can you imagine winning a Bitcoin? At 40,000, Meister, Proud Zionist Jew, tweeted, and we're back under it again, but it did tip over 40 while I was talking. Can you imagine winning a Bitcoin? Now, you might not. Millions of others are entering as well. I've done it. You should be doing this. Let me tell you something now. I will not spend any money to send texts from my phone, SMSs from my phone, to radio competitions where you can win money. But if there's a way to do it for free, which I do online in their terms and conditions, every day I enter for a radio competition in our local area. It's national, actually, where you can win. I think last Thursday was 150,000 British pounds to enter. You can do that. I reckon you could go to that website wherever you are. No, you've got to have a UK mobile phone number. But imagine winning that. And if I never win it, it takes me 30 seconds. I've got it saved. I literally go to that tab. I literally put my phone number in and enter, click enter, and then I forget it. And then I've got an alarm set on my phone at 3:30 in the afternoon, because I know normally between 3:30 and about 10 to 4, they announce the winner by phoning their phone. Now, I know my phone might go off, but I want to be absolutely in tune with the fact that it is that time of day, in case my phone went off and it was an unknown number, because sometimes I don't answer them. And the reason for that is the sole reason that I do that each day, Monday to Friday, is because if I won 150 grand, how many Bitcoin could I buy with that? It doesn't cost me £2 per SMS to enter each day, which then would cost me a tenner a week or 40 odd pounds a month. I do it on their online terms and conditions, which is free. And then if I don't win, it doesn't cost me anything. And then if I did win, how many more full Bitcoin could I buy with £150,000? You want to wake up, people. So with this, I have retweeted this and I have tagged 2 people in so that at least I'm in the draw. Because would I love another Bitcoin that is currently 40,000 that could go to 1 million and beyond? Abso-friggin-lutely, and so should you. I encourage you. Okay, Bitcoin Magazine just in. Now, it was a few days ago. Mexico's pro-Bitcoin Senator Indira Kempis introduces a bill proposing a central bank digital currency. They can propose all they like. I watched a segment of the Bitcoin conference where it appears that the CBDCs are out of favour, certainly with American Congress, and stable coins are more the way forward, where we can keep our privacy. Now, again, you've got to take what they say with a pinch of or a grain of salt. But the point is, when you've got, a country like China, dear, oh dear, pull it back. Mexico, a big country. This is the way it's all going. It is moving forward, people, and you want to be building your stack before this thing starts to go parabolic again, and it will at some point. Bitcoin Archive. MasterCard has just launched Europe's first Bitcoin-backed card with a line of credit. Do you know, I'm wondering whether I showed these on my last show. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I can't be asked to go and look. Or maybe I was going to show them on Thursday's show when I hadn't had any communication from Natalie and I needed a backup plan in case that didn't happen. As it happens, it did happen. Go and watch it. My interview with Natalie Brunel from Bitcoin Magazine. It is in the show notes. I think I may have prepared these ready for that. But if I have done these before, my apologies. It's my show. So, it is all happening, people. And if you don't get these signals, if you are not in the space, if you are not down the rabbit hole, you're not tuned in for these signals, and you need to be. And then Chris Bleck. It's really interesting because I was on Bitcoin Meister's show as a guest way back in 2018 when I didn't understand what I was doing with my YouTube channel. And I think I even joined Adam's show in a completely different YouTube channel under my old business name. I don't know why I did it, but I was actually on there with Peter McCormack, can you believe, who I didn't have a clue who he was back then, and Chris Bleck, and there was one other, a guy called Russell. Adam, if you're in the chat, you'll know who that is. Russ or Russell, his name is. It doesn't matter. But Chris Bleck, he said, in 2014, Bitcoin crashed 82% before starting to rebound. In 2018, Bitcoin crashed 64% before starting to rebound. In 2022, Bitcoin has crashed 43%. So what you think might happen in 2026 and then 2030, when those crashes are hardly anything at all, as it starts to smooth out, when all the big bucks have been made. I think, and this is just my opinion, I think that all the mega bucks are going to be made by the people that have been in Bitcoin currently today and the people that are getting into Bitcoin over the next 5 years, maybe 10 years. But, you know, there's an opportunity where gazillions are made, then there's an opportunity where billions are made, and then millions are made, and then there's just a great opportunity to double or quadruple your money, you know, and you don't make the massive gains that the early adopters made. And I still think we're in a phase now where you're not mega early, but you're still early enough to make massive gains by building a Bitcoin stash. So get on it, people, is my top advice. Casso is in the house. Welcome, Casso. Have I missed anybody else that may have joined? Glenn McCann, I can see. I'm just looking to see if anybody else has joined. Yeah, I haven't got a big channel, people, so I like to give people a shout out that do join to bring you into my show and make you feel part of the show. So that's it. Casso, good to see you as always, my friend. Bitcoin bossing it, people. Don't you love the t-shirt? And finally, my quote. Look at that line. I love this. Leaders don't force people to follow. They invite them on a journey. Think about that. If you are leading this Bitcoin charge, you are not forcing people to do anything. You should be inviting them to come on the journey with you. And if they decline, here's what I say. Just bless them, wish them well on their journey in life, and move on. And the other saying I use is the 4 SWs. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone else is waiting. There's nearly 8 billion people out there, people. Go and orange people. Do your best every day, week, month, year to orange people as many people as you can to help them see the vision of moving to the other side, crossing that bridge from the current financial system that is most definitely breaking apart into the new system, which will be the Bitcoin standard world. Now, how does that play out? Nobody knows. I've watched and listened to many podcasts with Jeff Booth, Greg Foss and others talking about what the transition is going to look like. I'm personally hopeful that it is a gentle transition over many years where more and more people catch this vision and move across, and more move across until we get that tipping point where you see the sudden move and Bitcoin becomes the standard. Whether I live to see that, heaven knows, don't have a clue. All I know is I hope it's peaceful. Can you imagine the world where the dollar collapses? It would be carnage. It would be mayhem. It would be apocalyptic. And I do not want something like that to happen. I really don't. So our job is to keep orange pilling anybody that will listen. Okay. But keep in mind, if they're not interested, go back and move on. Just invite them on a journey. And if they decline, move on. That is it. I will be back on Thursday, everyone, as always, with my 6 p.m. London UK Bitcoin Master live show. Come and join me. Come and get a few friends to come and join me, because the idea is to keep these videos current channels like mine that are not heavy and deep, where newbies just can't get their head around it all. So I guess my channel does tend to attract those that are just getting into Bitcoin or think of maybe dipping their toe into Bitcoin. If that's you and you're watching this now in 2022, 3, 4, 5, 2030, or even when I've left this mortal coil, get in, do your research, check out all the videos I've done to date. And that is how you can orange pill yourself and get in the rabbit hole and get off of zero. I will be back on Thursday. No live guest this week, but I'll be back on Thursday with another Bitcoin show. Come and join me. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you for listening. Please do share me where you're listening. If you're on YouTube, after 24 hours have passed over here, you can click on these boxes that appear. But that is it, people. Have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your Easter holiday, whatever you're doing. Don't forget to tweet this out. This also goes up on BitChute a bit later. It goes out on LBRY.TV, which is now called Odyssey, I believe. It goes up on Hive. Adam Meister, thank you for rehiving. I rehive yours now as well. That is it. I've ranted enough. Have a great week, you all. I'll be back on Thursday at the regular time. Here's my social media links.